have what it takes. Cloud9 obviously fielding Licorice, Blaber, Nisqy, Zven, and Vulcan. They go against FlyQuest.
FlyQuest over on the red side today, going to be having Solo in the top lane, Santorin in the jungle, PowerOfEvil as the mid laner, the bot and support going to be WildTurtle alongside IgNar. But a lot of questions about these two teams coming into this split. Cloud9 in particular, people were so impressed by them in spring, obviously didn't get a chance to showcase their skills at MSI due to COVID, you know, just kind of changing the landscape of the world. But people are very hopeful that they can maintain that level, you know, and that's what I am looking to see. Can they bring their dominance from spring into summer? Can they, you know, maintain that exceptionally high level and push towards Worlds? And likewise, can FlyQuest, now having had time to practice with Solo, challenge that level from Cloud9 and really show that they can take the next step and, you know, become a title contender? Because they made the finals in spring, which was really unexpected when you were thinking about it going into that split. And that was a big step, but clearly there was still a big gap between them and Cloud9. Yep. They were dominating that finals, and they're looking to see if they can challenge them here tonight.
I think his Licorice said it on his Twitter. Champions and undefeated at MSI. So he's just got the right mentality. He knows. He's feeling the power as they get Olaf in there. And you're right about FlyQuest. They place fourth in the regular split, find themselves in the finals against Cloud9 and take second off of that. So I think the power's still there. You're right. I think they can show it again. And we'll have to see what they can do. Already looking to get in the ring as Solo maybe locked in the set. We'll see where that does decide to go. And we're excited to see the junglers in this one as well. This, what is Blaber's meta everything arrow right now? These are his champions. Yes, the Honda MVP is going to pick something spicy here, I hope, and show us what he's doing.
Yeah, well, we're assuming he's going to be playing that Olaf that has been locked in. There is a possibility, obviously very slight, of it being flexed around, but you can pretty much assume that that is going to be Olaf for Blaber, the Aphelios,
0.001% possibility.
Yeah, maybe, maybe up the top lane. You see it every once in a while in solo queues top lane, but in competitive it pretty much stays in the jungle.
Exactly, yeah.
So jungle and bot locked in. On the other side, they are going to have that Karma Ezreal. We did see in the previous game, Karma was banned against the team that did pick Ezreal to try to deny this sort of heavy poke combo. This is a duo lane that relies very heavily on keeping their opponents pressured the whole time. You know, in an all-in, it can be very difficult for these two champions, you know, against the Nautilus, against the Aphelios. So they have to prevent that potential all-in by chipping them away, by keeping the Nautilus low enough so that Vulcan doesn't feel comfortable to look for that all-in.
Zero getting banned out against PowerOfEvil. They'll have the Syndra. Oh no, Syndra's up down on the right side, along with the Varus, who we always expect. The Yuumi does get banned out this game, though. Pretty similar bans to last game, as we see the Zoe, however, getting banned out here. Not going to the hands of this. The final ban maybe directed right back at that mid lane, maybe a jungle if you don't feel like that Sett's.
Yeah, very interesting. Seeing that Zoe banned out here, you know, it's not as much a PowerOfEvil champion. It does pair well with the Ezreal, you know, as we saw 100 Thieves going for that last game. They could, with the Corki, with the Zoe banned out, with the Zoe and the Azir banned out, they could look towards something like the Corki if they want to take that away, deny that from Nisqy. Nidalee actually banned, so a lot of these junglers being banned out against Santorin. Nidalee, Graves, two of the best power farmers, people who can aggressively counter jungle their opponents in this meta. It is going to be Lee Sin instead locked in here for Santorin, so PowerOfEvil will have last pick here in that mid lane to try to grab the counter pick, and I'm interested to see where Cloud9 wants to go. LeBlanc, I do think, fits Nisqy's style a lot more than Corki. It's something where you can be a little bit more proactive. They're going to have a very powerful mid-jungle 2v2 with that Olaf, and if you can get priority in the mid lane, LeBlanc can start to get aggressive alongside Blaber on this Olaf, start invading the Lee Sin, start trying to take away those camps, and I think that's the kind of style you're going to see Cloud9 looking for.
In pretty aggressive lane so far until we see top right is what we expected from C9 to give Blaber an even easier jungle in the early game that he doesn't have to go assist. And it's something that can stay safe or at least poke out its opponent. And the Jayce gets locked in here for Licorice. Man leading the team now on the side of Cloud9. That's going to be towards the top side. Final pick here, FlyQuest, 15 seconds.
Pretty exciting to see that locked in. It has not had the most sterling reputation in the LCS. The Jayce, you know, usually not doing so hot. We'll see if Licorice can be someone to turn that around, as he will be going up against Solo on this set. It is going to be Corki as that last pick, kind of conspicuously left open there. So this is going to be the scaling pick here for PowerOfEvil. And in that LeBlanc matchup, you often see Corki just rush Hex Drinker, then go into the Triforce. You know, it can be more difficult to go towards those scaling builds, things like the tier, because you often need that defense early on. With this Jayce, I am expecting the kind of phase rush against solo, trying to kite each other out.
We'll see. Yeah, what's exciting, you guys talked about on the dive that we're seeing a bit more Jayce as well, bringing in that phase rush, so we'll see if they get aggressive. But knowing that C9 brought those aggressive lanes, or thinking they would, I'm glad to see FlyQuest has some that aren't going to be calling Santorin left and right saying, we need you. Oh, now we need you here, right? They're fighting us 1v1. We can't do this.
Help.
So awesome stuff. And let's see if they can self-serve in their lanes and let the junglers start to get into each other's dens here. Blaber on the Olaf, Santorin on the Lee Sin, as we're going to be watching that matchup for sure. Conqueror for both as we head on to the Rift. And it is going to be a phase rush Jayce. Licorice now the leader of this, what is era of Cloud9 from the top side of the map. Very confident player, and the team has been able to get behind him here, definitely over the spring split, and just come together overall. It's an amazing team to watch a lot of the times, how they can distribute resources among so many pivotal players.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that they've kind of talked about in interviews too, you know, doing what is best for the team instead of what is best for the individual player. You know, things like, you know, Nisqy is a very heavy roamer, right? And they talked about the ability to just have Blaber catch a wave so that Nisqy can roam, and not necessarily worrying about catching all of those minions yourself if you are Nisqy. And that's something that I think is pretty atypical, but they know that sometimes, you know, that is going to allow them to be more proactive, and that is going to allow them to make a move that would surprise their opponents.
All quiet. Start this one off. Nobody even wants to see what's going on too much. The wards really aren't placed. It looks like IgNar is going to try to squeak himself in a little late here and get one towards the Raptor camp. But a red ward is placed on the side of Cloud9. Blaber wants to know if anybody's invading his jungle. Rightfully so. Lee Sin's tricky with his movements and can get himself over there right fast. Looks like we're going to be even on this one, and they're going to meet on the bot side if they actually do the same route.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Santorin did get a leash there from solo on the set. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important to have that red buff warded, because if you are Blaber and you're clearing top to bottom, look how low Blaber gets, right? That is intentional. He's going to save his potions and stay low because you clear more quickly as Olaf by doing that. But the problem is, if you show up to your red buff and Lee Sin's waiting in the brush and you're that low, then you just die, right? And that is why they are warding that out for him. That is why they are trying to play that more defensively with both the ward on the red buff as well as the ward in that bot side tri-brush to try to cover where they think Santorin could be approaching from.
Sweeper for Blaber to start things off, making sure a lot is safe. Nothing to chance here. No, even FlyQuest things still have vision to clear it out. Santorin's on his Gromp, and now we'll get the other side cleared as well for Cloud9. A little bit of a push up for wards here. We see WildTurtle and IgNar buddy system as they set out two of their own wards pretty early here, expecting some early ganks from the junglers to start. We're not also realizing where Cloud9 may have started and giving Blaber the respect there's there.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at how much of an emphasis has been put on actually protecting Blaber in this early game. Those two wards that I already noted, plus then Nisqy has the timing down for when he thinks Lee Sin might be moving, and puts another river ward down. So those, you know, essentially 3 wards to make sure that Blaber can have a full 6 camp safe clear, and he is going to get that. And he is going to be 2 camps ahead of his opponent, will be spotted, but has a sweeper, so knows that he has been spotted. But he's a level up here on Santorin, and they're looking for the fight.
Vulcan stepped in. Sonic Wave going to hit. Resonating Strike not coming through. He will have the upper hand as he heads up top. Nisqy has advantage in the mid lane, so he won't exactly see PowerOfEvil right away, but they're going to try to step a fight onto this Scuttle. Blaber forces Flash, but he gets an undertow now onto IgNar. Maybe a fight onto Turtle. As 200 HP for Blaber makes him reconsider this fight. He goes into Vicious Strike so he can get a little bit of HP back here. Starts swinging fast. In goes Santorin, gets the safeguard back. This is a messy one. Nisqy's going to be in the fray with the clone, trying to tempt out FlyQuest. They get shots onto that one. The first blood's going over to Solo as he teleports down to the fight, but Cloud9 is not done. The double buffs are going to be refreshed. They're coming back.
Here comes PowerOfEvil too.
One way, the shield, the heals coming in for Sett on that HP. PowerOfEvil now into the fight. Another shot on the Nisqy. He's going to be able to get, a double kill actually for Turtle. I thought it was the Gatling gun for PowerOfEvil, but FlyQuest has just pulled the rug out from under Cloud9 and a splash from Zven to end it all off. Nisqy somehow gets out alive.
Oh my god, what a start to the game, Riv. 10 men fighting over that scuttle crab down on the bottom side. That was absolute insanity from FlyQuest and Cloud9 there. It looked like Cloud9 should have been the ones to come out on top because Nisqy had Prio in mid lane. He was the one that was able to make that roam first, but FlyQuest played it out very well. The earlier TP from Solo and then the delayed TP after PowerOfEvil had actually based to come back in and really change things around. And FlyQuest going to be feeling so good about that one. 3 kills to 1, and they already have some farm advantages to boot.
And Solo able to clean up now on the top side as he gets back. Like you said, the farm now getting cleaned up. 2 kills for Turtle that go into the Ezreal. That's going to be great for power spike for him. Hopefully it can be utilized outside the lane as Licorice goes in hard here and gets Solo with a bit of that phase rush push. We'll see the rest of how this early game pans out. Santorin feels great. 3 assists for him, and he was back and forth in the fight being utility, not really having to get in for any execution. But for an early game Lee Sin, that's fantastic. Usually you die right away when you try to get yourself in if the team is not on board. Nisqy and PowerOfEvil, a little distort forward. Nice chain within the minions.
It's level 6 to level 4.
Health advantage there. Yeah. Still going to fight though. Nisqy trying to put it up inside the minions as we just see Drake go down. Now it's going to go over to the side of Cloud9.
Yeah, Blaber is the one guy who's still kind of in a really good spot. Everyone else is going to be hurting a bit off of that. This is a lane that you want to be bullying as Nisqy, but because PowerOfEvil, got to take so much time, he actually, killed all the minions, then based, then TP'd, and his team still didn't lose the fight. He didn't get punished at all. Nisqy does have a freeze here, so he will be catching up in that farm, will be catching up in the experience, which is going to be nice and also very necessary for him because, 2 kills to Ezreal on the bottom side, that's going to put him ahead. Solo getting a kill and a couple assists to grab an early pair of Ninja Tabbies is really going to help you from being bullied by Jayce in the early stages, and that's going to make it a lot tougher for Licorice too. So Cloud9, definitely in a bit of a tough spot. We've seen them battle their way out of a lot worse ones in the past, but it is damn rare for them to be behind at really any point of the game.
It's true, right? They're right on top of any play that either one of them is doing, and you were right to call out that it seemed like there was a bit of lack of rotation there on the side of Cloud9. Played in favor of FlyQuest. Teleports halfway through their cooldown for both of our teleporters, so we'll see that kind of putting a pause on the action most likely. Blaber towards the top side is going to deliver that blue buff over to Nisqy so he can stay in on par, I should say, with Corki. CS is there, but the damage may not be just yet. Santorin just on the other side of this little cat and mouse may be played between the two, and he's just going to miss him on the Squire's Bloom, but Santorin knows he gets a cheeky raptor in his tendies and he moves out.
Take 1 chicken for your troubles there on the way out, and Santorin moving here down towards that mid side. Nisqy has got his level 6, so that's going to be pretty nice for him. And PowerOfEvil clearly not feeling threatened after this start whatsoever, so he does have that pickaxe, which I assume means he's going to be going straight towards that tier build next. He doesn't want to go, right to the tier first because he wants to have a little bit more combat power, but he's not feeling like, hey, I'm so pressured that I have to go for a Hex Drinker here. And Licorice has got to proc his phase rush and get out.
Ooh, showstopper in. That's going to be a big one. I like the phase breaker that pulled him in. I don't think Licorice was really considering the full combo as coming through in a lane gank for the Lee Sin without having to really do too much to get into position. Nice job by FlyQuest to keep the pressure on here. Nisqy taking some damage mid as PowerOfEvil sorts himself out and just gets out of range of Blaber in that engage.
Yeah, great gank up on that top side. You know, you hit the facebreaker, you pull him in, then you have the ultimate. You know, that's as soon as you land that, it's an easy Q for Santorin. That is guaranteed. The ult from Lee Sin is guaranteed, and they have enough damage to just burst down this Jayce, who has been put down a little bit by that gank and by that TP. Not working out as well for him as he was really hoping.
Oh, things going well for FlyQuest across the board. Being able to pull out that intensity we were hoping from both teams. I think you can really do the never count Cloud9 thing out, or out thing, I should say. But here's just a walk up. Santorin's doing Krugs. He said, hey, minion waves here. We definitely have an opportunity to get this to happen. He baits it out for just a moment before going in.
Yep, we did see Licorice actually had the knockback from Hammer for him, but the pull in there, that facebreaker was already buffered by Solo, so he just gets dragged back, and that slow is enough for Solo to be able to catch up, land the ultimate, guaranteed Q for Lee Sin. Just a really good setup from him, and it's a good sign as a FlyQuest fan to see Santorin and Solo working well together as a duo, because that is that newest member. It is very important that those guys have good synergy, with their jungler as the solo laners, and already, off to a great start here. They are up 1,000 gold on Cloud9.
Seems like bot lane was pushed there as we watch the replay, along with a rotation from Vulcan. A Rift Herald able to grab over the C9 side, and that's in the hands of Blaber. See, as we have 40 seconds left on our next Cloud Drake. Ocean first, Cloud. So Inferno or Mountain is going to be changing our Rift. Right now, I don't know if that's going to get too much attention as everybody gets back to the lane. Vulcan's going to join Zven there, 85 to 80 in that lane. We'll see if they can keep putting out the damage. WildTurtle and IgNar really haven't seen too much action besides that Scuttle fight, where everybody was involved in the early part of the game.
Yeah, that was a pretty spicy fight down there, and IgNar and Turtle after that going to be pretty happy to just kind of farm it up, right? You have Ezreal who got an early tier off of that fight. He got the early 2 kills, so he's going to be scaling up, stacking that tier as fast as possible, trying to complete that Muramana. You can see he rushed straight towards it, and the CDR boots probably grab his Sheen next, and we'll see where he wants to go from there. But Santorin looking for a fight here in mid lane.
Wants it though. He's trying to put as much damage down as he can, but he knows he can live through this one and absolutely obliterates one. Santorin goes down. Ignar's going to follow, and Blaber is just one-manning this fight. Now the rest of the team comes in, and it's going to be all of Cloud9, but will they lose another member with this happening? Turtle firing in from the side, and still FlyQuest chips away as their members go down. Cloud9 finds himself on top, and Blaber back at 100% HP.
Blaber not backing down at all. The MVP there in the 1v2 just stands and fights. Nisqy comes in, and they are not done. They want to dive Turtle here now. Vulcan going to try to set it up with the auto. Gets the root.
Oh, they're right under. Turtle's going to get hit up hard here, and he just gets burned down by the last shot from Zven. Stopwatch under the turret denies the aggro, and this is going to be plates as well. You got to remember, Cloud9, once they want that fight, they take it. And Blaber was the one to light the fuse there. The rest of the team following through on the advantage. TP comes in. Nice dodge by PowerOfEvil. This is going to be a big fight here. Santorin and IgNar back in after going down. They rinse, they repeat, and they're going to try to pick up some more kills onto C9. Zven fighting and fighting as much as he can. Another shot to Santorin as he safeguards.
Here's Nisqy,
and
though.
Takes the aggro for himself. Nisqy distorts in. That's a double distort. Only one chain to the right side, and he's not going to be able to get enough calculated damage to take them. PowerOfEvil, but here, a Sigil should be able to do it as he goes over the wall. Yes, he is able to get it out. I thought he would have missed the angle, but Turtle's back. He's got the shell on, and he's going hard. Wax on, wax off. Nisqy's getting out alive, though, and not able to pick that one up as he distorts away. And another fight going balls to the wall here in Game 2 of the Summer Split.
Riv, what a treat we are getting to kick things off. This game is so hype. Nisqy there blocking multiple skill shots with his clone. Juking that back and forth to block the Ezreal Q, to block the Karma Q, the Lee Sin Q. That was sick, and this game is so action-packed. Neither team is backing down, and Nisqy may catch IgNar.
How did he live? He never should have lived in that situation. Just trying to taunt them away. Gets away with 200. A sliver of HP, if you will, as the Rift Herald beats down on mid. Blaber was probably just about to lose this one as they had taken it. Next Rift Herald should be able to spawn due to the first time that Shelly was taken. Heraldine will spawn.
This is
let's
just
see it again.
a fun game. So. Yeah, this is starting off after the initial fight that Cloud9 had won. They look for this dive, and the dive is very well played here. Vulcan, just waiting, gets the guaranteed root auto. That allows him to land the hook for free, then dropping the stopwatch here to drop Tower Anchor to walk it out. And they felt like, hey, we're in a pretty good position here. Zven even took the time to drop the penguin dab on him as he's walking away. But we see that the respawn has come through from PowerOfEvil. In comes the TP, a nice juke utilizing the home guards there onto Vulcan. Blaber had no flash, so no way out. And then the Karma root locking up Zven meant he could not kite it out, couldn't get through. But these health bars were so low. And the missed skill shot there from PowerOfEvil meant that it was actually an escape from Vulcan. The Karma shield barely was able to keep PowerOfEvil alive, but Nisqy knew Distort is coming back up, distorts in, lands the Q plus the Luden's proc, and then the key play here is watch how he actually is juking. He moves the clone into the way to block the Ezreal Q, to block that Lee Sin Q, and to make it more difficult for IgNar to actually find an angle there. So really well played by Nisqy to clean up that kill, and this game has just been so exciting back and forth. But despite the fact it's 7-7 in kills, Cloud9 is up 2 dragons. They're up 2,400 gold somehow.
Yep.
Thanks to a lot of power farming, thanks to the Rift Herald cashing in on plates, and they are just doing Cloud9 things. You beat them in one fight, great. Let's fight again.
Look at your spring split Honda MVP at 115 to 79 in CS. You say power farming. This guy is going to town right now. Blaber, and a lot of people, you see him around for a bit, right? Blaber's been this guy that's been there, but really only joining the team recently in the last few years from the academy side. Last split was the split he first started in and then got MVP. Where is his ceiling? We've been talking about ceilings a bit today, but I don't think we're even close to it. And again, he just gets first pick here for C9, priority on the fixing van, and he comes out firing on the Olaf. Even in that first 2v1 situation we saw, he didn't turn.
He has been looking so damn good. There's a reason he has like an 80% win rate in LCS. And Nisqy on the roam. Will Solo take down? No, the Karma comes in.
Ooh, safe. Shield comes out. That's the Ignite they're going to take out there. We see how much damage the Shock Blasts are doing. Bit of lethality that he has on right now. And it looks like turrets may be going down a little bit more here in favor of Cloud9. They're pressuring FlyQuest to answer mid and getting a bit of free time in the side lanes.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see Licorice going for the Lucidity boots, too. That is something that you really don't see often on the Jayce, but, it's going to help out the poke. You get the additional CDR. The Summoner spell cooldown reduction is something that's often overlooked there, too. So if you want to be playing side lanes, having that TP up more often, having the flash up more often is going to be pretty nice. And, with that full lethality stacking, there are a lot of squishy members over on FlyQuest. If you can hit the Karma, if you can hit either of these marksmen, they can get softened up, very, very heavily, which opens up opportunities for Nisqy to fly in there and take him down.
You're going for the downtown Sonic Wave. Also seeing that, you're able to apply your crowd control more, right? So you're getting your phase rush a little bit more often. You're able to the skies, hit your hammers. Getting a little faster. Fast Jayce. Jayce face. All up in there.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. A lot of people going fast this game. PowerOfEvil, does he have a package on him? He's heading down towards bot side. He says, hey, I have a minion wave right quick before we get back to this fight. Wards being placed down both sides. It's going to be Crescendum and Infernum. You got to watch Zven here. Fires one in. Not going to be the ultimate from him just yet. No, that was actually. He did not proc as much damage as I thought. It kind of just fizzled out. He is in the front as he sets down a Crescendum. And now Gravitum in the back there of his gun as he's going in. Solo and Vulcan going back and forth. Showstopper in as Vulcan doesn't get too much more damage across the team, and they may be able to solo out. Solo here for the kill. Fights across the board here on the river, and it looks like Dragon is going to be over to Blaber. Cloud9 picks it up. He has been the one to make the impact plays in these fights, and they're still going with 2 left on each side. Licorice almost getting it to the skies on PowerOfEvil, and Cloud9 fell fast in that one, with FlyQuest looking to take a little bit more. But like I said, Cloud9 got the Drake.
Yeah, they got the Dragon, and still 3 for 3 kills overall. That first pick on IgNar was so big, and the Aphelios ultimate didn't do that much to the rest of the team, but IgNar was gone instantly, so they were happy with that pick. And now Licorice catching IgNar there through the exhaust. He's just hammering him.
Got him with the focus resolve, though. Locked him up. Is it going to be enough? Oh, IgNar with the plays! Maybe the 5-finger fumble Rooski from Licorice. I don't know, but the lockdown from the Mantra Resolve was beautiful. Oh, my word.
That was so good by IgNar. Licorice flashes in to finish him off, and he just flashes the other side of the blast cone, and he gets out of there.
Oh my
the exhaust
word.
saving IgNar, and that is Summoner down for Licorice, plus his life given over there, as he thought he had a catch, but ends up being the one going down.
Those are you want to see that confidence from your teammates, right? You're like, ah, sweet, he's in the jungle doing whatever. But that's the confidence that starts to chip away at that whole resource you're using. I don't know if Licorice is going to want these plays over and over. Teleport top now. They have a bit of help here with Blaber. Now it makes the difference if they're going fast to the skies. Doesn't quite hit, but PowerOfEvil still taking the full damage, and he does go down. The question is answered, Riv. No, it doesn't end. Licorice is not tempering his aggression, and we'll see this fight one more time that got turned around.
Did Vulcan just hook the wall and then hit him with the Rammus thumbs up? I'm pretty sure he did to start that off, but the cook comes back up, straight in, ultimate through, very nicely done. And it actually looked like, you know, the Aphelios ultimate hits the Karma as he died, so you kind of couldn't really see that damage, but hook into Shock Blast, plus the axe coming through from Olaf, they just absolutely destroyed him. Zven having some trouble here, though, with his positioning. As Solo came through from the top, he didn't feel like he could actually run out through that direction, but then he's getting segmented off. So if you watch Zven, he just gets completely caught out here, hit with the Ezreal Q, Santorin bursts him down, but the Olaf is just unstoppable. Level 11, flashing in there, looking to take out Santorin, secures the dragon, almost kills him with the axe, and then in this final fight here, it's all about the missed Shock Blast. Licorice not quite able to finish off PowerOfEvil, would have easily had enough damage if he was able to land that Q, and then did end up overstaying a bit and get it taken down by IgNar.
11-11. We're going punch for punch here, Ezreal. As we mentioned before, though, Cloud9 has been able to keep a bit of that gold lead. The farming, the turrets, the structures are in their favor for some of that global gold on the map. So it looks like he may be able to get a drop on this one here. Nobody's close to him. And even if, I wonder if this is going to go over to the fourth more so, where he just helps and gets the wave and takes over the lane as Solo will back there. So they're going to trade this one off. See how the split push starts to work here. You do have Jayce on the top side of the map as we see a bit of the gold and how that's working out for both teams. Nisqy himself is going to get a buff. Somebody else, a player who has definitely come from a place of criticism, right, in his first split in the LCS, and kind of just shook that off, has always had a smile on his face, a dancer, if you will, very explosive. But he's definitely been showing up the past few splits, and he's definitely someone to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, on his kind of second return to the LCS, obviously in his earlier days with the Envy, you know, was criticized a fair bit, but since he's been back in NA with Cloud9, he has been great, getting a lot of credit, rightfully so, as one of the very best in the league. Was first team all LCS last split and was kind of in the hunt for that MVP also. So definitely a really, really good player. But you know, one of the most exciting things I think about Cloud9, and one of the things that really kind of makes Cloud9 Cloud9, is the fact that they are always willing to take these fights. And it's not always going well for them in this game, but they are constantly taking objectives. They are constantly getting advantages elsewhere. And they are always willing to take that fight again because they have faith in their ability to outplay in these team fights, that they can execute, that they can hit the skill shots, that they can dodge yours. And that is something that really speaks highly of how confident they are as a squad.
Everything's online for them to make it feel good here, too. You have the Hurricane in for Zven. He's going to be able to kind of stand tall in this fight. Vulcan's there with the Stone Plate if anything does happen towards the backside, but they're still being careful about this. Here comes the mid lane, PowerOfEvil, with the package across the entirety of Cloud9 to shake them up a bit, but not real much comes of it. And now they're going to try to get this fight on. Haymaker over to Nisqy. He's able to kind of deny a bit of that damage, and Solo may go down. We just lost Santorin. Solo falls as well. And in the blink of an eye, fights are happening across the board. And we just saw PowerOfEvil package across Cloud9. That was enough to get them to fight in a fight they had been looking at the whole time. It amazes me how they find them, as you were just saying.
Yeah, and I mean, this was something where FlyQuest just had to fight because that was Soul. They got Soul right there, so they knew, all right, fourth dragon coming up, let's set up for the fight. But Licorice lands a Shock Blast that almost 100 to 0'd IgNar, pushes him out of the fight. Then PowerOfEvil is packaging across the team. They get a double chain on Solo. They kill him. They take Soul. They're going to bear, and Cloud9 just pushes the pace non-stop.
Corki's great at this, a little too early. The steals from Corki have been seen. 3 minutes now for Cloud9 to be running around with the Baron buff, and they are showing true championship form here as they go toe-to-toe with FlyQuest, but ever so slightly always ahead, always coming out on top of these fights, or starting the fight with it in their favor. We'll see FlyQuest back, what more items they can get into their hands as they start this one off. The early game's so good for FlyQuest, it didn't seem like they could really execute on it other than in just a few fights. With Rift Herald going over to Cloud9 and the way they executed that with the waves pushing up, top lane being pushed in for Licorice, there was no real chance for FlyQuest to really get back on that. And I think Cloud9, really, we've seen this before, all they need is a bit of an advantage. That farm from Blaber, the turrets to start going down in their favor, to get that first item and make that impact.
It really is, and I think that the real difference here just has been how willing Cloud9 is to move, to get advantages, to push for these dragons, to try to stack up those objectives, because a lot of the fights have actually been pretty even. I mean, it's 13-11 in kills, but yet you have Soul, you have Baron, you're up 6,000 plus gold, and you can see, I mean, look at the farm difference between Nisqy and PowerOfEvil. It's not just because Nisqy's like farming poorly, it's because he is constantly moving, looking to get picks, and they're willing to give some of that farm over to Blaber to put him in position to run that jungle matchup against Santorin. He's 3 levels up on Santorin, which gives him the advantage in the smite fights, which allows him to always duel out these other members on FlyQuest anytime he runs into them. I mean, he can win fights against pretty much anyone if he's not just getting fully kited out. So, you know, Blaber is just in this monstrous spot, and now with the Soul, their team has the run of the map.
MVP?
Yeah, he seems pretty good. He could be in the running.
Pretty good guy. Could be in the running. I like it. 25 minutes coming up on the clock here. And we are going to see FlyQuest trying to put 3 towards the top side. They don't have much here that's going to clear these Baroned up minions out. And even when you get Turtle and PowerOfEvil, there's still a bit of work. They can get them. Be careful about that Siege minion, Cannon minion just a bit out. Don't get baited into it. That's going to be WildTurtle's job. So they hold off. Cloud9's going to hold for now. They do have Nisqy mid. Talked about him just a bit ago. We saw the roam game from him. He's ever so known for, whether he's on this LeBlanc or waddling around on the Veigar. He will be there ganking your lane at some point in the game. You're here now. Second wave coming in. Solo maybe looking for a fight. Santorin comes flying off the base. Man, you got to be hot with home guards and no shoes on, man. Oh, so much damage on the Solo. He's the one that has to live. You know the Haymaker Shield's going to be coming up, and he's going to be able to get himself back to safety here, but the Nexus could be in jeopardy with the first inhibitor and its inhibitor turret going down. 5 minutes on those. Put it on the clock. We'll be able to see how C9 moves around those timers. A few wards placed out for FlyQuest here, but they're just trying to stop the bleeding right now, and Cloud9 has no intention to stop it.
I mean, it's just crazy how good they are at pushing these advantages. Almost every single time in spring, they were ending the game at or by 30 minutes. They would just win a team fight, get a Baron, game's over. Just like that. Make it look so damn easy. And even though this game was very evenly contested in the early stages, FlyQuest was getting advantages at a number of different points. C9 is right back in the driver's seat, and they're sitting in a position that looks like they're going to be able to do the same thing yet again. I mean, we're at 26 minutes. They already cracked top inhib. They have an open middle inhib. One more team fight win, and the game just ends, and that could be happening in a minute 50 at that Elder Dragon.
Yeah, it is something to take note of. We even saw a few mistakes, you know, maybe when Blaber ran up the scuttle, flash back down, comms for mid-aggression wasn't there. Yeah, Licorice going down towards the top side, but as I mentioned before, it's kind of crazy to see that C9 themselves are a team with so many impact players. Ways to divide those resources have never really, ever given them a problem, and they're always doing the right thing. You know, nobody's ever starved. Everyone's always able to put out damage or make the fight happen in favor of the team. So if one falls down, the others are picking them back up, and that's why it's such a hard team to take down. Tier 3 in the mid lane, they would be ready to take on just about anything or disengage, and they get a true shot barrage out of Turtle to start things off. I love that they're all about the emotes this split. I am enjoying this.
Yeah, they're great. Zven seems to be the biggest emote fan so far. Hit him with the penguin dab, give him some thumbs up. You love to see it.
Oh my word. Get him in their head just a little bit.
I mean, it could be a tilter.
Oh, absolutely it can. Especially when you do like the sorries, or they're like, oops, I didn't mean to kill you for the 7th time. Sorry. Oh, that'll get you. That'll get you. Santorin just trying to check the Sonic Waves here. 1-2 gets about 25% of his health from a double distortion from Nisqy. And they are back out testing the waters all over the place.
Yeah, the water's looking pretty cold. FlyQuest doesn't want to dip their toes into there as a Shock Blast is basically a dead Santorin. And Cloud9 isn't going to overchase right there. Are just happy to just park over here in the jungle. They want to keep all of this vision. You can see that there is a ward in the pit, thankfully for FlyQuest, because Cloud9 is hoping that they can't even approach and that they can just get a free Elder. But the wards on the exit is giving FlyQuest the information they need to at least move down and try to contest. They have got to get there fast, though. It's just going to be gone.
Package! Oh, he didn't use it. Solo's going to be in there by himself. Can they answer? Whoa, he got zeroed out. That shield didn't last very long, even though it was half of his health bar. And that was down and dirty by Cloud9. They take the Drake, or take the Elder, I should say. They were ready to take a resulting fight, and they're going to go ahead and waltz right up towards that Baron side. And whether it's for Baron or just to get vision, a few of them are going to stay and grab the objectives.
Yeah, they'll grab the Baron here, grab the Baron, grab the Elder, then you are fully super buffed up, and you can move over. Ezreal, nice try for the steal, but too early there from Turtle. Obviously didn't have any vision on it himself. Cloud9 has everything they need now to close out the game. It's going to be nearly impossible for FlyQuest to hang on with multiple exposed inhibitors, with Baron plus Elder, all of the gold in Cloud9's pockets now. They have, ballooned this gold lead up over 12,000 ahead. And when you're looking at some of the itemization, it's just insane. 4,000 plus gold lead in the jungle, 4,000 plus gold lead in top lane, 2,500 in that bot lane. These are just absurd advantages.
Makes you wish that you could have seen how Cloud9 went undefeated at MSI, you know?
They didn't lose. I'll tell you that much.
They didn't lose, indeed. Here they are pushing down towards the bot side of the map. A 12,000 gold lead, as you were just mentioning. And they are going to use that to just keep banging on the front door of FlyQuest base. Inhibitor in the mid, going down. 30 seconds on the top one to respawn. Solo!
Flank, last try.
Coming in from downtown. He is so big on this flank, they can probably hear him pounded down the lane behind him. Here he comes. He's trying to do it. Oh my god, Santorin didn't even last the blink of a second. And they're going to try to get into the fight. Solo again in there by himself, and he goes down fast. This is going to be the rest of FlyQuest doing what they can, but they are just getting lofted away. Back to the fountain, taken out left and right. Cloud9 will keep that championship reign going. Your spring split champs start off strong and start the summer split with a win here in the LCS.